Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to a meeting of the Darien Architectural Review Board. Today is Tuesday, February 24th at 6 p.m. My name is Elizabeth Geiger. I am chairman of the board. With us tonight we have Mr. David Humphrey, Ms. Christina Hart, Mr. Joe Muro, and Mr. David Riley. We are going to go into new business first tonight instead of old business. So starting off, we're going to do ARB 03-2026. In our online system, this is PL 2613. It's the complete angler at 319 Boston Post Road. Welcome, please introduce yourself, your relation to the business, and a brief overview of what you're looking to do.
My name is Scott Bennett. I'm the manager of the Complete Angler, 319 Post Road. We have on both ends of the building two roughly 4x4 windows that we want to cover because we're getting some sun damage, and we can merchandise the inside of the building on those windows. And what I was thinking, rather than just blacking the windows out, is just having some cool lifestyle images in the windows that we could change out and kind of make it look better than just a black window.
Okay.
So the image that we're seeing there, that actually is, so that's like, that would
It's
just
just
be a
got
film?
fly casting. Yeah, we're gonna,
Oh, okay.
yeah, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because when I opened it up at the computer, I was like, oh, it's somebody's reflection. And I wasn't sure what I was looking at. Okay.
Yeah, just like various cool lifestyle pictures that we could just swap out.
And that's on both windows? Both of them?
Yeah, the one in the front's kind of a dark image. It's actually a guy fishing with a waterfall in the background, but we could do something brighter that would be more.
And these
So-
are inside?
I'm thinking inside,
They're
yeah.
like almost like a roller shade type
Yeah.
thing, they're not
Yeah.
glued on, or they're
No,
just...
so we can
they're
move them around, or if we
interchangeable.
wanted, we're not gonna change the window if we want to
So
take
they're
it
not
back
an
out.
applied film? They're
No, just
okay.
like a poster, I
It's
guess.
like a poster but a shade.
So Mr. Bennett, the struggle, just to give you the background here, the ARB has never approved any sort of decorative artistic window coverage.
Okay.
Anytime we've gone through and let someone black out windows in town, it's been for a reflective glass. And that's because we just see it all the time, and you'd have half the windows in town
Well,
with posters and stuff.
I could do that too, I just thought that would look cooler.
Yeah, so I mean, it is up to discretion if the board is open to that. Is that the actual, do you have the actual proposed image?
No, because I'm gonna make them interchangeable so we could just swap them out.
You swap them out monthly,
Well,
yearly?
if they get sun faded or just start looking tired, just to keep it looking fresh.
So
Okay.
in terms
And I had a
of...
couple other options.
Go ahead,
if you
show
want.
them.
Okay.
In terms of regulation, as we've been going through this right now, there's a lot of going on and throughout town. So a film applied is one thing, if it's permanently glued on the window with it goes
Yeah.
under the etching category, which is the 10%, it's a permanent thing. If it's a roll-down shade, we don't have anything in the regulation that says that the shade cannot be colorful and a picture. So in a way, if the poster itself is something you apply and you just bring it down whenever the sun is hitting, and maybe have the option to pull it up when it's
No,
not
so I'm
hitting.
gonna block it from the inside so we can merchandise the wall.
Right, but are you
But
gonna
it's a
be able to
non-permanent.
retract?
Right, but I can make that, I can pull that panel out so I can change the image, is what I'm thinking.
So this is where it becomes, it's a panel versus a shade or a roll
Right.
down. The roll down shade would be no issue whatsoever
Mhm.
with the time of approval, because it's only done temporarily and as a treatment, as a window treatment. But then if it's a panel, then it becomes more,
Mhm.
which is what we're looking at.
Yeah, it seems more of a panel.
So what's the view on that side of the building? You're looking at a road, another
You're
parking
looking
lot?
at the diner,
The diner.
like the back parking lot of the diner.
Yeah, these are not street facing windows, they're
Yeah, no,
side
there's all the
windows.
street stuff's gonna stay.
The other side is more visible from but the other side probably
It's
doesn't get
Well,
as
it's
much.
parking lot and then Birch Road, there's no,
Does it get sun damage as well on
Yeah.
that side? So east and west probably?
yeah, because there's no, in the front we got that porch, so that blocks the sun.
You know you can do anything you want when it's 3 feet inside the building. So I know it's like all that real estate in front of window gets kind of blocked for 3
Yeah.
feet. But if you had a panel that was permanently affixed to the floor, 3 feet inside, it's
Yeah,
no
three-
longer
three-
part of,
Yeah,
the
3
3
feet
feet
inside's
doesn't
not
work for
gonna
that.
help.
Just what I mentioned.
Okay.
Just keep things moving. Personally, I'll speak up first. I'm unfortunately not in favor of this. I think it's a little kitschy. I think the images are cool. I think standalone, they're really cool inside the building, and if they took up smaller 10% of your window elsewhere, I think I'd be more in favor. But I remember when you guys came and did this building, designed it, it's really cool. It was like, it's a showcase for us on this side of Darien, on that side, and it's just, we love what you guys did, your sign, I think it's really cool. I think it takes away from your building, but that's just my personal opinion. I think I'd rather see like a black veneer just to shade it and keep
Yeah,
it
I can just
simple,
put black and then,
like reflective glass, but that's my personal opinion, the board may feel differently.
I'd probably second that. Yeah, I mean, the images are cool. It seems like more so to be inside the building than outward facing. It also sets a tricky precedent for
It
us.
does, it does.
Yeah, even if it's not facing the street, it's
Correct.
still, yeah. I heard you say awning, I guess.
Like an awning, yeah, you could.
Yeah,
use
like
some
for
sort
sun
of-
control, I mean,
yeah, and I'm just trying to utilize the inside space too, right? The
Yeah.
inside gain wall space.
yeah,
I mean, what we've, people have done like that clean coverage, or reflective coverage that kind of just,
Gets rid of the sun.
that gets rid of the sun. That's probably your cheapest option and probably looks the best
Yeah.
as far as.
Yeah, but then I can still block the window from inside.
You could block it with like, with a reflective,
Yeah.
almost what it looks like there, that black, you know what you see on Gregory's Coffee? You've been to Gregory's Coffee in town?
No.
All right, in the back store, they have like, in their back side, they have all glass windows. But in the back, the last set of the windows as you go towards Walgreens is their bathroom and their interior space. And so what they did is they put like reflective film on the glass. You can't really even tell because it happens so quickly. It looks like normal glass, but it blocks out those windows and shades it for you guys.
Okay, so I could put that on the window and then,
You can put that on the
Put my-
interior of the window and then put your stuff up against it.
okay,
Mhm.
Yeah,
all right.
I agree.
You can send me a PDF of what it's gonna
Well,
be.
it's just gonna look like a black reflective piece of glass, right?
So what you would do is just send her what you're going to purchase, what you, like, you can get a couple different or reflection. There's levels of like very muted to reflective, that's your call, but whatever you pick, can you send to Hervé and he'll update the file with that information?
Okay.
You can make that a certificate.
Yeah, certificate, and you'll get a certificate, you won't get a letter from me since we still have a change, but Hervé, to keep things moving, will give you a certificate of approval and say, that sounds good, looks great, continue on.
That would,
Okay.
Is that okay? Does that work for you?
I think that looks better, but I'll do whatever you guys want to do. I just want to be able to utilize the inside of the space and not get sun damage.
Yeah, okay,
Cool.
that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your
All right.
flexibility, really appreciate seeing you, Scott.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. All right, next up, we have ARB 05 2026 in Viewpoint. This is PL 2619. It is for Darien Floral Studio at 878 Boston Post Road.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin with Humwell
are
Signs.
you new in town?
I'm new guy in town.
This one? You're on the final one?
Yeah, let's see that one.
Okay.
So you might be familiar, we talked about the chocolate store going in next door to this. So this is obviously right next door. We're proposing a panel, aluminum panel above the entryway. One of the things we talked about in the past is this rectangle they built in brick above it.
Right.
You know, I guess originally back in the old day, they would put signs up there. Our proposal is just below that. And I think the chocolate factory as well, once they come around to put their sign up, I've just proposed, this is what they want to do as well. So, couple blade signs, I'm sorry, one blade sign and one aluminum panel up there.
and that's the full name of the business. is
Correct,
there-
that's their legal name, yeah.
that-
And clean with
And they'd also like to put some vinyl on the back window to catch people's attention in the back parking lot. And this is the proposal for that. Just something simple. And the second service inside the window. Just
It'd be
to-
cool if they put their cool flower logo on the back here.
Yeah, we could add that as well.
I mean, it'd be more than,
This is-
I would really tie it together.
I'm trying to get, it'd be more than 10%, but it'd look cooler. It'd be
Yeah,
better.
you want me to
Yeah,
redesign it?
will you
Yeah,
suggest that to them?
yeah, sure. It's right there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, what do you
You
think?
like that
Great?
idea?
That's a
Yes.
great logo.
Yes, thank you, appreciate it.
I could propose that, add that and send it over.
Yeah, just add it to the file, sure.
Yeah, okay.
On the back, why wouldn't it be Darien Floral Studio instead of flowers and flowers?
Oh, that's the name of the old company.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that is there still?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's,
currently
that is
there.
still
Oh,
there,
sorry.
but we're changing the
Oh.
window.
So that would be changed to your.
Oh,
oh, we'll
We're
switch.
changing, huh?
To your logo, yeah?
Yes, yes, we're changing everything to our,
Okay, okay.
to our.
Oh, so you
Oh.
send that, Kev? Whatever
Yeah, I'll
that-
send it over. I
yeah.
didn't take that picture from the back. Okay.
PDF, back door. Okay,
By the way, the company's name, you confirm it's Darien Floral Studio and Events?
I'm sorry?
And Events is in your company name?
Yes,
name.
yes,
Officially?
and
Yeah,
events,
sure.
yes, that's the legal name.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Good with it.
so just the PDF, but that's not really an administrative approval, it's just an addition?
Yeah, an addition,
So
yeah.
that's like a favorable report?
Yep, will you put it in the file, Kevin, in the meantime, so by the time I send my letter, it will
Yeah,
have.
I'll send it tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, that aluminum panel, is there gonna be a little breathing room between the brick coursing above and below? Or is
Yes,
it,
yes.
there is, like an inch or something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It'll, we already,
Yeah, when, it seemed like on the streetscape, it looked like it matched the height of the
On this-
chocolate
on this
sign,
image.
or? It's the same proportions
This
as
is douche
the
area.
douche
Right,
area.
they'll be the same size, yeah.
Since you made both of them, you know what the size of the other is, right?
We're gonna open up soon, I guess.
Okay.
all right, let's favorable report, I'll get you a letter.
Okay,
Once you
great.
just put that new PDF in the file.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, we are not seeing Corsica, correct?
That's right.
Correct.
I can't make
Correct,
it
okay.
because there's
Just
no-
chopped.
So, next up, stay there, and next up will be ARB 07-2026, in the online system, it's PL 2622. This is 0 Corbin Drive in Chopped.
Correct. Hi, I'm Kevin with Hunwell Signs with Lisa.
Lisa Elwell.
Lisa, yes.
And I'm Kate Perez,
Kate
from
Perez.
Water.
Want to introduce yourself? Tonight, we're going to propose Chopped, the great salad place coming to town.
Fantastic.
My daughter will be very happy.
I wish everyone did this, made my life so much easier, just a last file, like.
Thank you.
Yes.
We try.
Not that it's last minute, it's just,
Okay, so, which one is chopped?
They're right here at the corner.
These guys.
Yeah.
So they get triple exposure.
Well, triple exposure,
Not
yes.
exposure.
Yeah, yeah.
She reveals all the sides.
Okay, so they're here and here.
Yep.
correct. So halo lit letters, I updated the description of them today.
So Chopped is next to Berries.
I think it's a couple of days.
Two down.
Is, yeah, I think down.
Okay.
Yep.
They're good.
This is just the location of the blade sign, non-illuminated.
One
aluminum.
blade sign? or-
Yeah, two blade
Two blade
signs.
signs.
Because it's a corner, correct?
It's
Yeah.
a corner, yeah, it's like,
It's a corner
Very
plus
sided.
plus
More
in
than
a
a
way.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep.
Is that 30 inches square?
Yes,
Okay. And non-illuminated,
yeah.
really?
I mean,
That's one of the few
self-illuminated.
in your.
Correct.
Okay.
We like this, we thought the mix is
sort of a
nice.
daytime spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be for that entire row of stores, non-illuminated?
I think
Cause-
some will be illuminated.
So it's gonna,
Berries, blade sign, I'm not sure if that's illuminated.
Berries is
Which
not
we'll get to.
illuminated,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And the bracket, they chose a different bracket.
yeah.
I actually think it would be cool to
No.
have bracket variety, yeah.
Totally.
Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
has a little scroll going, it's,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Okay.
Kevin, do you have an enlargement of the wall signs anywhere, or no?
Just,
Oh, there it
it's
is.
just that,
Yeah.
yeah,
That one?
There you go.
right. I just wanted to highlight that for request with the halo lit letters, yeah. And I just altered their drawing a little bit to bring the lettering off the wall here.
Mhm.
with the spacing on it.
So those are pin letters, right? This is
Pin
not,
mounted, yeah,
this,
we'll
this
have a
is-
hat- we'll
this
have
is
an-
not a cloud-looking back panel, it's just,
No floating
wall.
cloud.
That was,
It's not
yeah, I
floating.
guess that's
No.
the drawing.
it's before the snow, but so it's just pin letters, okay? And
Yeah.
then the back, okay.
Opaque, classic typical opaque faces with halo lit letters.
So how do you run the electricity without a,
In the like fascia board that's behind it.
yeah,
So.
So through
that
each pin you have-
will-
I think that's how you do it, right?
Yeah, typically I'll run each letter into, a line into the building and
Wow.
then connect it on the inside
okay,
to the transformer.
that's great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's neat. Usually you guys have a channel. All the
Yes.
federal ones, you had to do a channel. This is much more elegant.
Yeah, sometimes we have
much
to do those back plates, yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
federal's
Better.
that's fine.
So the creative salad part is
Yeah, I guess that's.
not on the, it's on the side here, but on your overall here, it's underneath. Which one is it? Because here
That's the one
this shows,
above.
We'll do,
That
let's
was,
do the one above, but
yes.
this is just for us to see the light versus no light, with the creative salad is underneath there, because on the facade, it's pointed, it's showing next to it.
Next to it.
yeah, that'll
That's
do.
correct.
I can eliminate that as well.
Ignore this, just,
I
this
can
is the
get-
correct thing.
That's the one,
Okay.
exactly.
And this is not lit, this is just, it's too small to lit.
Right, just the chop.
Just a big chop.
and those are also pin letters, the Creative Salad Company.
Now, I might be able to get those illuminated, so I can get back to you on that. I just want to double check the exact size of the creative salad letters.
Yeah,
They're
I mean-
little.
will they be pinned? That's a good question.
Oh. Yeah, if not illuminated, they'll be same height off the building, non-illuminated. But
But pinned, mounted, each of them?
yeah, yeah.
Alright.
I feel like it's better not to eliminate
Yeah.
the
Oh,
little
good.
letters.
Okay.
You know, I just feel like chopped will stand out
Yeah.
and then like gets really, it might get fussy to have all the little letters, you know?
Yeah.
So that would be non-illuminated
Yeah,
for the small letters.
Also, what's the projection of chop? Because those are the larger letters, so if the smaller letters are projecting, like, if the face is aligned, will it look like they're like, have these big, like
Oh.
dowels coming off the back? I
Oh,
mean,
like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
because
would it be
the-
better if they are,
The
like,
thickness of the letter would be
Yeah.
such a difference.
Big letters are
Is the
3,
difference
little
about
letters
2.5
are-
inches?
something like
Yeah,
that?
2.5 inches of depth.
Yeah,
So that's a
I feel
long-
I think the
pin.
creative, if we keep creative salad at a half-inch spacer,
I think that would, yeah.
Yeah, you
it
don't
would
want too
keep
much-
them from like, yeah, being these
because it'll
floaty.
be too,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I'll write that in there. Half-inch non-illuminated creative salad company.
Okay. And then there's a awning.
Okay, others.
What
Can
else
we
is-
look at the elevation one more time?
Sure.
Yeah, we're, yeah.
There's this
Yes,
elevation.
please.
Or like page 8.
Page 8.
This way, it's very
So I'm just thinking about it with the,
Can you
because
large?
Hervé, you were saying like, is
Just
the
the,
little lettering next to it or below it? And then we're only gonna illuminate the big lettering and it will then be off-center. You know what I mean?
Because this is,
Oh, the
yeah,
halo.
this is reading.
Yeah, because you'll
this
only
chop
see the
is-
chopped.
Big chop's supposed to be centered.
Mhm.
And if it's centered, you put the other little letters underneath, is that what you're saying?
Below it.
Because that would be making it easier to make it symmetrical if you had the double text rather than,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, would you have to reduce the size of the chop letters from 17 to say 15?
It looks
In order
like they
to
have some
accommodate-
buffer. I don't know.
I think we have about 30 inches there,
Okay.
It's a
So we do
pretty
have some
big
room.
signage band, yeah.
minimum, yeah.
How big is creative salad?
I like that,
Is it
if
too-
you balance it underneath like
How
that.
big is it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we put it up, if at the end of the day, we're like, ooh, we didn't think about that, you know, when it's lit up
It's a
and
good
it's like.
yeah, no, I agree. I think
Yeah,
it would
it's a
show
good
on
point.
these facade.
Kevin, how big are the letters for creative salad?
Let's see. Do the 4 inches down, let's see.
Doesn't quite say, these are 17.
Yeah, I just saw the 17 for the whole thing.
Oh, let me double check that.
Maybe like 3 or 4.
These drawings were given to me by
Yeah.
the franchise,
Okay.
so they didn't, I'll double check that.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't really,
No, just for the creative salad.
but I
Just so this
really
way
like the,
it's-
I really like that
this is all right.
modification because I think it's gonna show the asymmetry.
So like Kate said, we might show you an option of the, yeah,
Yep.
you like that idea, it's just so it bounces better, I can send you that drawing.
Okay,
That sounds
And then we'll
better.
It's a good
update-
idea.
yeah,
okay.
Okay.
Now, that's enough of a change for a certificate.
Sure,
Yeah, I mean,
Great.
because that's not anywhere in this file, so.
okay.
I'm not trying to give myself more work.
I was like, I'll gladly give you
I know.
more work.
No, but I mean, I can see the process is like,
Yeah.
okay, when it's approved and then goes through building department, I kind of like,
Okay.
this is kind of frozen and,
We can send a revision, but like, I don't think the sizes are gonna change, it'll just be
yeah, just,
the other.
just put it in
yeah,
context,
organization
you know,
of it, yeah.
just redo that, those,
Mhm.
especially since this is such a symmetrical facade,
Mhm.
as you said. So,
Yeah.
okay,
And will there be like window clings later on, or is that something that they don't do, or?
You know what, they didn't really focus on that, I think the signage was really their priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
is the underside of the awning roughly 8 foot? Like it looks, oh, Jesus. It looks like this on the drawing.
I
If the
think it's
blade is
8 foot to
96,
bottom.
this may be,
Oh, to the bottom of the
you
awning?
don't want it to go too low,
Right.
right?
Right. They do have a spec on there, if you go, I think it's 10'3", 10'3" on one of their.
Well, if it's 10 for 3, that's not according to this drawing.
Are you on 8?
Go, is that?
Yeah, you are.
I am, well, let me just.
Or let's go to 7.
Minimize it a
The
little bit.
first page says, right there on the right says 10-3. The teal sun umbrella awnings.
All the way to the right there?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
10.3,
So I think
But then
96
is-
might not be accurate, those, they might be shown higher.
one of them is not.
Yes, two of these things can't coexist. The
Trust the
door
architect
is
in the
at
room.
least 8 feet, so I know the awnings are 8 plus,
Yeah.
so 10.
Yeah,
yeah.
10 would
Well,
be
then
up
10
there,
now.
the 10.3 would be much higher.
Mhm.
Well, the reason I bring this up is that we don't really have a 3D view of this awning at all. And is it
Projection?
too, what is the angle, right?
Just, this is what they show in the top right.
48.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if it goes 10.3, it may end up being slightly shallower in different proportion. I mean, if this is drawn and it actually works with the facade and it just hits that cross mullion bar, that may not be quite this proportion, so
It's
you
54
can,
inches that.
Yeah,
because that makes this point quite high.
Yeah.
If that's 10'3" here,
54.
plus whatever that is, that's another 4 feet. You have 14 and change to the underside of the, that's kind of where I am with this, is that I'm doing the math. If this is 10'3", this is at 14 and change, I don't think you guys are at 14 at the top of those windows.
yeah, I
It's
don't
either
think
high,
the
but they're not.
dimensions of that detail are reflecting what's shown on elevation, and we wanna
Correct.
achieve what's shown
Yeah.
on elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we
it-
have
yeah,
something?
It looks like it's got a really big forehead.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because if
Right.
it's 4 feet on the bottom, it's not 4 feet vertically,
It's
it's
54.
2.5
it looks like.
feet
But it looks like it's
vertically.
54 inches, right? Yeah. Total?
Yeah, the
Well, by
dimensional on the
dimension
left.
on the
Yeah.
drawing.
Right, that's-
On the drawing, yes, but on the elevation, I
Correct.
think it's only occupying like 2.5 feet, so
Right,
it
yes.
would only come out like 18 inches or something,
Right.
yeah,
So
so
it'd
I
be
think we just have to
proportional.
rescale
So I
that.
think for the purpose of building permits, because this is also gonna go in the building
Of course,
permit, we
yeah.
wanna make sure that the proportion
The
and the size of
awnings.
the awning are
Yep.
correct.
Yep,
Yep.
in
but yeah, the
relationship
intent
to
is
the-
like what we're seeing in elevation, and like this detail I think is wrong.
Okay.
That's a good catch, thanks, everybody. Good point.
Well,
No, it's smart. Okay, so
Issues.
revised PDF and also confirming the specs, the awning,
Yep.
everything else looks good now. Materials,
I'll
colors,
look at
the
it.
logo allocation.
You wanna keep the bottom of the blade sign?
96 is fine.
Yeah,
Right?
it's,
Yeah,
yeah,
94 is the
that's
minimum.
tall elevation.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah.
But the awning, yeah, all right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so Hervé will get you an admin certificate once he gets that information.
Yep.
Okay, all good. So next up tonight, we've got ARB, Kevin, is everything okay?
Yeah, I was wondering if I'm staying.
Okay, good. Next up tonight, we have
Biggest day.
My name's not up there.
06/2026 in online
Because
system,
I
it's
did it, so
PL
then you take it off
2620.
your plate, you're so
Oh,
busy.
thank you.
This is
You're
for 10
the
Corbett
business
Drive, which is
side guy.
Barry's.
Yes,
Yes.
we are very excited about
All right,
all
so
of these.
all three of you guys are presenting for Barry's?
We are,
Okay,
we might as well stay here.
okay.
Teamwork.
this is different. I went to.
I think I sent it, same one, last one today.
Well, I lost the, sorry, updated ARB presentation, there we go. Correct?
I believe that should do.
23. All right, berries is,
Dave Riley, you're missing next month too, right?
ooh, well, we don't care where it is, but, well, we care where it is, but we know it's in there.
Yeah,
So, because this is gonna take a while to magnify.
this is their big file.
Uh,
So there are front and back
Still one.
elevation.
So I'll show the, oh, there are some elevations here.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so, is that, can you guys read it?
So
here?
this
Is it
was
okay?
chopped that we just looked at, and that's on that far like top of the building. Barry's is sort of in the middle. There's this long brick facade on the same building on the other side.
So front and back.
Front and back, yeah, two
Yeah.
wall sides, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Corbin Drive and then the
Yep.
interior
Corridor.
park side, yep,
Okay.
correct. So they're presenting a facade and blade sign on each elevation.
Oh, no.
16 inches by 17 inches.
It's kind of big.
Halo lit,
Says
Yeah,
more of a
halo
user.
lit.
1 inch
It's
pin.
harder to manipulate than the other file. Because it's in the PL instead of the ARB, I'm gonna have to go back to the agenda.
18 or
But is that good enough? You guys can see what's going on?
16, I believe.
It's 16, okay.
You have
16 inches by
high,
16
yep,
by 78.
correct. Halo lit.
Same idea, same
Yeah, same
electric
idea.
system?
Mounted,
Same,
yep,
yeah, exactly,
backlit.
yep.
And then for the
But there's
graphic,
no awnings on this, this is.
No
glass.
No
Right.
awnings, yeah.
That's all glass.
for the graphic eye here, so run and the vest are not lined up.
Oh, height wise?
Are they purposely doing that for,
I
we
don't
never
know,
play with
it's
that.
kinda like, boop, 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 it's all over the place, boop, boop, boop.
We didn't know if they were doing that just for
I don't know.
asymmetrical fun purposely to.
It's tricky when I don't do it.
Run, lift, shop, repeat, and
So I do know that Justified is part of their package that they do in all their locations.
Got
And
it.
they had asked if they center or Justified, and Justified is definitely their preferred
Okay,
kind of format.
Yep.
why don't they have a corner and corner here? So like move this down so that it starts at the corner, justify, and then justify. Bookend,
Right.
Yeah.
no? I mean, sorry.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The
It's a look,
best
it's something.
workout in the world.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a science to it of like, we're 12 inches off here and 12 inches, I think they kind of like assemble it more like art, of like what, like,
Okay.
how do we think this is gonna look good to kind of have like the graphics, but I know what you're saying, it doesn't look like there's like a science to
Right.
why these.
And the letters are a little bit bigger, aren't they? These letters are a little bit bigger than these, or are they supposed to be the same?
I think it looks.
It looks similar, I
Similar.
can't really
It
tell.
looks. Yeah.
It's
I think it's
almost-
just the 3 lines versus the 4. Is
Yes.
there a way
You
for
wanna
them
put
to
money on the table?
Left this,
get the graphic on the right into 4 lines?
Yeah.
the one on the right's 31 and a half, and
Lose
that's
some money.
35
That's
inches.
okay.
Lose
Yeah.
some money.
But,
Don't challenge me.
Lines.
That would work, actually. So these are the only window clings, this front and back, these, or
And
these just the
then-
front?
These
If
are
you
just
scroll
the,
left and right, I feel like there's one more
I thought there
logo
was.
or something,
there's the
yeah.
blade sign, yeah,
Yeah.
they're just their logo,
Chevron.
and then the blade sign, you'll have to,
Okay. Because they reduced this, didn't they, from when we originally proposed?
They originally proposed, they had like an extra sheet in their package that had a like coming soon whole different package.
was the red?
That looked
Yeah,
more
so we're
intense and
not
had more
doing
going
that.
on.
okay.
yes.
So that page just entirely came out of the presentation, and I don't think this one has changed.
So are
No.
we still gonna entertain the idea of like some cool temporary signage, or is that just too much hassle? Is where you guys,
We would really like to do some temporary signage, but I think for them and like planning and trying to get their fit out permit in, they wanted to make sure their permanent signage was okay, so
Yeah.
they were like, let's get our permanent signage in,
Yeah.
get feedback on that, and then we'll come back, or, you know, something with the temporary signage.
yeah, 'cause the
we might have
temporary
a few
with
people
all
who
the
wanna do
tenants,
different
so
temporary stuff,
we'll-
yeah.
We're
you know, I was
talking
brainstorming
about
this.
that now as we get closer.
I was thinking, if you guys wanna draw attention to the store, you could just put out some like 25-year-old shirtless men that are ripped and just walking across the store, throughout the day, just that would make draw some attention.
I don't run.
Or women, for that matter, too. Like, there are other ways to get creative than signage.
Yes, yes.
That's very creative.
So,
It loses Kevin's business,
Yeah,
but
But it brings a whole new
yeah,
element.
you never know. It doesn't have to be the illumination.
It would be very attention grabbing.
I'd have to decline that offer.
Conflict of interest.
That'd be something.
Right, like, I'd like to not comment on that. I'm uncomfortable.
Looking at Kevin on here, they jump all
they're
over.
watching.
Okay, the blade sign, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No illumination for that
Nope.
one either.
correct.
Just plain. Now you get one or two blade signs, there's two of them, right?
Yeah,
Because
one
of
on
the-
the next, when you go
One on
scroll
one
down
side, one on the other
to
side.
the next
yeah.
elevation.
There's sort of like door access and parking that people could come at from either side, so.
Right. So what's the final on the lettering location and size?
Well, we can bring it back to them,
Yeah.
to your questions on it. We can easily talk and see if there's a way of making it seem more balanced.
Just something to think about, just
Yeah.
make sure it's deliberate,
Yep.
what they chose there, okay.
Yep.
Fantastic, I think that's a favorable report as
And
it's,
then we just want to show you the other
Oh, yeah.
elevation too.
okay.
So the one in the back's.
Yeah, the backs.
The back looks better, in my opinion.
So, yeah, just to be clear, this is the Corbin Drive.
The first was the Corbin Drive elevation, and now this is the park, the
Does
interior
it
park.
want to go further than 25%? It's very interesting, I don't know why.
This one looks better, watch. It just looks more symmetrical, the door and the window, the
If you click here and do like
Klingons.
15, no, like
That's what I think too, every
manually
time you say
reset,
Klingons,
I don't
Klingons,
know.
I'm like,
Sometimes they force it that way. No,
Kate has
no,
the tricks.
Not,
No, not
not
tonight.
having it. No, this is a tricky
Maybe
one.
get that column out of there.
I don't know why it did that. It's done that before to me and I can't get out.
Click that one.
Click
I
that.
haven't noticed slogan or something.
Oh,
That's just
some
helps
more
the
areas.
image.
Well, at least it gets the full,
Yeah.
almost.
You can scroll.
Do you think
Not
that
sure
should
that way.
in the front
You want me to scroll this way?
or something like that?
Does it go all the way?
Yeah, it goes a little further.
You need a bigger TV.
So we have a privacy film on 3 windows here.
Yep.
Is that where their office is?
Inside.
That's
Back
actually
of
where
house.
the like the red room is, so
Oh.
every varies, like 2/3 of it is the like workout room,
Uh-huh.
and they control the lighting and acoustics are a big thing. And like HVAC is a big thing, so like inside that room is the actual workout studio, and I think like privacy wise, when everyone's like really huffing it and like falling over, they wanna like have that be like privacy screened, and this is facing what we call like the wedge park. It's kind of a triangular park between building F, office building that has retail on the ground floor, and building A, which has all retail. And I think we were working with a landscape group who specializes in retail on just how to like make sure that street furniture, not on the sidewalks, but like interior and everything is like working and supporting the retail and pedestrian experience. And we're working with them on like in front of these privacy bays, strategies to have it not feel like a dead facade, and like, is there, you know, in other retail examples around the country, they've pulled like a living wall that has some sort of growing, planting, you know, situation in front of it, or like pop-up kiosks where you have like a little Airstream, or, you know, like that is an unrelated vendor that's in front of there. So we're kind of working through like retail strategies and like landscaping strategies that don't make it feel like a
Soften
dead
it a little
facade.
bit.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
blocked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So their transom is also a privacy screen.
Yep,
That's good, and this one is not.
that
Correct.
one is not, yep.
So that will help this read like the entrance.
Right.
Because it'll be the darker, you
Yeah.
know, lit.
Clear
dark,
glass, yeah.
Right. as long, I think the issue, yeah. See Liz's face.
It's a huge bummer, I mean, I feel like it's like,
It's a bummer, it's
I
a
think it's-
problem with the
yeah, I mean-
storefronts everywhere, is you can never have any sort of privacy, anything. I mean,
I know.
as long as the privacy screen is on the inside and there's still a gloss to the window, that helps. When it's on the outside, which is forbidden,
Right.
It is.
as we know. See you on Thursday, Kevin.
Yeah, see.
There is, you know, that still works with the glass, but, because it still has the feeling of glass from a distance, and then when you get close, okay, you can't see through. I don't know, is there any way to, like, you know how when you walk into a building for the heat, you have the wash of warm air?
Mhm.
Is there any way to wash these frosted glass from the inside with a light that kind of glows or something? I mean, like, creates more of
Like depth,
that
yeah.
kind of helps with the screen. I don't know, this is just a
Well,
kind
there
of
are lights
silly
you
idea.
can
Maybe
turn
we just
on and off.
invented something.
But there are windows where you can either shade them or not with a simple switch. Like on street, like, yeah, I've been in them
Yeah, the
before, so
switchable
I
glass.
Electric,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
it's an electric
I mean, I don't know the
Yeah.
expense of them, but that's
It's
like,
electrochromatic
Yeah.
chromatic
Yes.
glass.
Yes.
Used it on a few bathrooms.
did you guys
Yes.
entertain that at all, or is that just
We
expensive?
haven't looked at that. I've come across it in office fit outs, and like I'm sure you've come across
Yeah,
it, like
office
high-end
uses it a
residential
lot.
bathrooms.
When they want
Um,
privacy, flick a switch.
Yeah.
Right, for
Right,
conference
conference
rooms.
rooms.
I
Yes.
don't know, I don't know if like window unit size wise, cause like there are applied things that do that, and then there's like integrated, meaning like it's
In the
between the
glass.
two
Yeah.
The glass.
sandwich
Yeah,
glass.
you can get tints and everything when you go that direction.
Yeah, I don't know if it's super common at this size. So like we just would have to look into that, but like to have it be continuous, I know I've come across this before on a 10-foot by 10-foot window that nothing was made that would be continuous in that size, but we could look at it, like look into
Yeah.
it and see.
'Cause it'd be nice, like, when they're not in business, lights are off, maybe there's a glow, you can actually see inside the red room.
Yeah, it'd be
It's
cool.
kind of more attractive when they're not in operations, that's
Right.
just what I was thinking.
It's a big problem in town. I mean, it
Yes.
is because we have so many of these storefronts with a lot of glass, and then not everything is meant to be seen.
Yeah.
And, you know, the facade is approved with all the glass before the tenants move in.
Right.
And the tenants come in and they go, I don't want you guys to see
We
my
gotta make it
dishwashing
work.
area.
Yep.
Makes sense, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, that facade kind of changes, so.
Smart glass.
Smart glass,
Smart
yeah.
glass.
Let's do a
Smart
search
glass,
on
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
we
applied
we
Yeah.
have run into this
Yeah.
also in
Yeah.
phase one. I remember there was a tenant that had the same issue. I don't think it's come up with at least specifically the federal project in town, because there's a pedestrian facing facade and then there's a utility facing facade. So all of the like back of house stuff went on the back sides of the building.
Yeah.
And we don't have any back sides of any
you
building.
guys
There's
are
like a
very
small
exposed.
section of building D that has like a true back to it. So like it is hard to kind of like hide all the guts, like then we're kind of like trying to hide them in the middle of the spaces, so.
I mean, worst case, you could do like up and down rolling electric blinds, right? They go up and down, I mean, like, the
Like the
cheapest
Hunter
stuff.
Douglas type of.
That's what the Goddard School is doing.
That's what I hope
Yeah,
they're doing. The problem with
they
God's
should-
School though is they
actually-
leave theirs down 24/7. Instead of like bringing them up to look in at nighttime, so it's pretty.
Right.
And I think it's the.
Maybe one of the thought too from the town is that, you know, tenants do change. And then once you have something fairly permanently applied or fritted glass or frosted glass itself, then the new tenant will have to live with it. When, if it's a less
Yeah.
permanent application, then that's,
Well, that's what this is, this is
Yeah.
removable.
So-
Yeah.
you know, you get somebody who's not doing workout aerobics and sweating and they wanna sell chocolate, they're gonna want the glass.
So the
We want
reflect,
a lot of chocolate spaces in town.
the reflective glass is those three windows and the transom, or is it also on the right, just,
Just
Just
those three
Just
bays
on
on
the
the
entrance,
left side.
okay.
The right
Left
side
of
is more
entrance.
like
okay.
reception area, there's like a small sales area, but it's like visual in and out.
All right, are you guys, can you before, if worst case, if it is this terrible coverage, what would the actual cover, would it be just like a gray clean, or would you also do like some sort of reflective, like you know, like something that's like a tint, like a reflective glass tint?
They come in like every shape and
Okay.
form and whatever. We could get a sample of like, this is because
You should look at it.
some of them are
Okay.
better than others, like whitish crystal, I'm like never a fan of, you know, that like
Mhm.
whatever, but
Yeah.
they do come in just more like reflective or like gray, you know, so that it like breathes more like a window.
You come back with that, cause I know you'll be
Yeah.
back anyways for,
There's also, it's called Phosphora, it's a 3M film website,
We have a
with
lot
all
more
the
to
films
do.
you can look at. I have brochures on it, it's a catalogs on. They could, it can, they can, it's like a gradient as well too, if you want to have this solid, then this,
Yeah.
the fade to
Yeah,
open.
that's cool.
that could be cool,
Mhm.
yeah,
You get your privacy and you can
Yeah.
see inside a little bit, get some lights.
yeah.
We can
The
talk to
fitted-
Barry's,
fitted-
they might
fitted
have
glass
some
type idea
ideas.
where
It'd be
Yeah.
cool to like
Yeah,
see
yeah, they'll
just,
have-
you know,
Yeah, it's like a gradient,
Increases
kind
or
of gets lighter.
decreases.
some sort of light, whatever.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
Like
see
some
them, but you'll
activity.
see,
Yeah.
You'll see the,
yeah.
yeah, top third.
See, I like this brainstorm, that's great,
Yeah,
alright.
there's a lot of nice options, but
So favorable report for the front and those clings and
And we'll get back to you.
essentially, yeah, I mean, we're
Brainstorming on
Yeah,
the
let's do
window
that.
covering.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's not a no, but ideally it's not a yes.
So
Is it?
one thing I should just like throw out there is I think that their studios are dark.
Yes,
Like they're
pitch black.
pitch black and then they have like controlled lighting in there. The other solution I can think of for here that would work with like them keeping it dark inside is to have a shadow box wall behind it and then some sort of lighting in the top and then some sort of film so that it like
That's what
almost
I was-
reads like there's
that's
a
what I was
room
talking
there,
about.
yeah,
Like something
but
three-dimensional.
that they're still dark
With the first
inside,
step.
you know,
Yeah,
like the
that's-
sun,
That's
whatever.
kind of what I was talking about. but
Yeah.
basically, the
Yeah.
idea of a wash, or kind of a wash
Right.
light. Yeah.
Mhm. And like in like Manhattan, that washed cavity would have like marketing, but I don't think that's what we're going for here, so. Like something more like Kevin was saying, like a frit or whatever, but then with like light behind it, so we can find some examples.
Yeah. You guys are too creative to just put a film on this and call it a day. There's no, you've gotten so much work. I cannot imagine thinking that's like, it seems against your grain.
Unlike some other
Well, I think
places.
that also begs the
got
question,
some,
you mentioned like
leftover matte black I can
landscaping
put
and that, you know,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some sort of,
There's thought going
like,
on
yeah,
still.
something
This is-
outside, like, I don't know, planters, furniture,
Yeah.
what, you know, what have you.
Yeah.
That, I think there's a certain amount of coordination that would
Yeah.
need to be.
It's
Yeah.
very much so an ongoing conversation as we're going through and setting these up. This is our first tenant that we've brought with this.
Mhm.
So we're still, as you know, as Kate alluded to with landscaping, there are exploring how we can soften this
Yeah,
and have
okay.
it be pretty.
And like,
Yeah.
if you think of 15 Corbin Drive, which is on Corbin Drive, and it's sort of a straight shot with like sidewalk and trees, this is a very different setup because it's on a park with no street. There are like full-grown trees in front of this,
Yeah.
you know, thing, so there's like, and like benches
It'd be
and
beautiful.
like raised planters, so there's a lot like going on in this zone where when we look at it in elevation, it looks very flat, but like in this particular area, it's very, the landscape group calls it the secret garden.
It's
I
not
call it the
barren,
Legends Park, but
it's
it's
not
very like
barren.
planted, yes.
Yeah, it's not barren at all.
That was literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the park.
I know. Here I am doing
It's so
both,
funny.
thinking, we didn't say it, but like a water feature inside, it's like, whoosh, with the
Oh,
washes in,
yeah.
that would like, it would be super cool.
Small expense.
Yeah.
More water.
Yeah, add that to the expense. Okay, great guys,
Thank you.
sounds good. Okay, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving on to old business now. We're gonna go up to 25 Old Kings Highway North, the Old Kings Market. This is ARB 51, 2025, in Viewpoint Online System. It's PL 25190.
Oh, you're gonna, you have your own presentation, so I don't need to be plugged into PM?
Do you want me to?
So you, there you have a free USB.
Next one was like, I'm taping.
So, what are you here for? Thank you. This is one? Okay. Are you going to speak it off? Okay. If you want, you can pop up and introduce yourself. Okay. So make sure for
Pretty.
someone on the
I
agenda.
might say something wrong.
Okay, yeah. You don't get quoted on it. And you couldn't say anything worse than me suggesting models half dressed walking across the post road, so I think you're gonna be fine.
It's something like I'm gonna do a mess, I'm like,
It's embarrassing.
I'm on vacation.
I think this is gonna be boring after.
It's almost
four
as bad as
visits.
Equinox, isn't it?
Oh my god. I'm not gonna say.
Really?
You want me to just clean up?
They have people licking each other. It's weird. It's really weird.
My name's Christina Gordon. I'm here representing Frederick William Hogue Architect on behalf of Regency Centers. We've been before you once before, have refined our package, identifying the general guidelines for both landlord and tenants at the Old Kings Market Shopping Center in a more palatable kind of format. So the intention of the package is really to provide clear and concise guidelines, again, for both landlords and tenants to adhere to, that identifies sort of the major categories that improvements or site improvements might occur. Those being site and exterior building lighting, signage, of which there are, some subcategories. You have the site monument signage, wall signage, blade signs, sandwich boards we're proposing, and secondary directional signage as needed for various sort of specific conditions. And then as well as outdoor dining and associated sort of outdoor furnishings. The way that we formatted this package is to provide these sort of concise guidelines that also define the method or formatting in which documentation should be furnished, first to landlord and then subsequently to the town to obtain permits and obtain your approvals. Things that need to be controlled and are defined in the guidelines are things like the quantities of elements, locations, sizes, materiality, and just general appearance standards. Again, documentation to include detailed plans and elevations, sections and details as necessary to articulate the proposed improvements. So the shopping center we see as generally defined as two tenant type conditions. Type A, which is the sort of red areas here, are tenants that occur within the pedestrian concourse and have the colonnade or portico covering to them and have a particular signage condition available. The second condition tend to be the anchor stores where they do not have this portico or pedestrian concourse condition. So there are two different signage guidelines available to the various tenants. There is an existing monument sign or directory sign that we presented before you at our last appearance that each and every tenant has the ability to have their signage located within, and that is at the main entrance. So the general aesthetic of the shopping center is somewhat of a colonial flair, and the site lighting that is present has that same language. There is intention to update the portico signage illumination to sort of a more contemporary linear facade lighting. What's there now is currently a gooseneck, and it's a little bit tired. It doesn't offer uniform lighting, and it's quite frankly inadequate. So that is sort of a proposed change that we are presenting.
Do you have details on that, the specs on that? That's a great idea.
We certainly can furnish. That is in fact a real lighting spec, and it comes in various lengths and projection depths. And it's fully adjustable, so you can really direct it towards the sign and not into the parking area or kind of up into the sky.
I think you guys should that's a great change. You guys should come up with that exact, like, the model you're picking out and the specs, so like with the Kelvin, that's a great next step, and that we'd be majorly in favor for. It looks better already.
The general guidelines sort of stipulate that all site lighting is maintained by ownership, so it's not something that the tenants have any control over. But we are also sort of stipulating that everything is of a uniform color temperature, 3000 K, which is in adherence to dark sky compliant guidelines.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In this image, actually, it's pointing out an interesting issue, is that some of the arcade have obviously a panel with a store behind, some of them do not.
That's correct.
And it creates
Choppy.
choppy rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you put the light everywhere, it's almost like emphasizing the fact that it's missing a panel, or is that something that's being thought about? Or should there be panels everywhere and then some of them are blank? I'm just bringing that up as a
Correct.
question,
No,
because it's
that's a good
just,
observation.
it's, maybe there's more arcade bays than there are businesses inside. But then is the light gonna look from a distance look a little funny if when you're looking at it, it goes up and down like teeth, right?
It has a difference in what it's illuminating. I hear what you're
Right.
saying. There are blanks, and it is for the purpose of the fact that not every arcade bay warrants a sign or correlates directly to a tenancy inside, because some of the tenancies are 3 bays wide, et cetera. We could quantify the number of voids because they do not overweigh those that have panels in them. So they're sort of few and far between, but there are maybe 5 to 8 of them throughout the entire shopping
And
center.
it's pretty much due from the fact that some of the stores, like Coromandel, has 2 bays of
Correct.
ownership versus 1 bay, and for some other that are narrower stores, right?
Correct.
So you wouldn't be doing Coromandel.
Yeah.
You
Correct. I think
That would be a little weird,
the
Yeah.
the path would be to have a blank panel, which there are some of those present currently in that signage has been removed when tenants have vacated the space, but the panel has remained.
Right. That's a very interesting issue.
Yeah.
Palais Royal in Paris went through that. That's interesting. They sold it by bays.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we can
Yes.
certainly revisit that.
I mean, the lighting's adjustable, I don't know whether you can.
It certainly could be more directed downward facing.
Yeah.
There may be a perceived variance in that sort of direction in the light, but yes, it is directable, so.
Just have a continuous fascia.
We've done continuous as well. Generally, we've done in this situation, so other shopping centers with this, we've done a continuous bar, so it's not individual, so not 30 by 30. We've done it both ways, so I actually don't know, we'd have to look into that.
Because one of the.
Those come back, because I think the goosenecks are out, they're on all of them right now, right?
No.
Including the blank ones? What would they be put on?
I don't know if it would be bad that the ones that are lit, like the signs, and that brings prominence to the store and the tenant, so, but you have a consistent line.
Yeah, but it's like so choppy that I don't know if, like, it would.
I don't think that that's a problem, because,
Yeah.
if you go in anywhere in any city, they're not rhythmically organized. It'd be a little bit more,
Unfortunately,
the
the signage
bandwidth.
is rhythmic. This, it's
My-
just not perfect.
yeah. My concern with, if it's all lit all the way around with the blanks, it almost looks airport-like to me,
Mhm.
right? Too much, so that's why I'm glad you recommended, or you addressed that. They can be pulled out, adjusted to really just highlight the sign.
Yeah, and that's the intent is,
Yeah.
because that's really what a gooseneck does, but
Right.
this is sort of a contemporary, approach at directional light.
Good.
Yeah, we'll give them a good discussion.
So sort of secondary to
So like those.
signage lighting, oops, I've changed sheets here, sorry. Trying to zoom
Zooming in is always dangerous in this computer.
in. It worked for me on my own. What happened?
They work for berries.
Part count likes that it's not like continuous, by the way, it almost makes it look local, smaller versus like corporate. I don't know if it will look stupid, but.
Apologies.
I think you'd have to have it be intentional, honestly, if you could have that.
Well, wait a minute, you
We
guys
can
have.
look at it both ways,
Yeah.
see what it looks like kind of rendered,
Yeah,
see what.
yeah.
You guys have.
It's not a perfect center, like it's just.
I know, but that's kind of maybe the fun of it, that maybe that's the lean in on it. You guys have arcade lighting you're presenting too, right?
Okay, so that's what I was trying to zoom in on
Yeah, so I
here.
thought,
So,
because that
so,
will make a,
That looks awesome.
so this is actually an existing installation. It's at
Yes.
Odalise's outdoor dining space. And so what we've written into the criteria, again, subject to your approval and landlord approval for tenancies that have sort of energized exterior areas that they can pursue on a temporary basis, you know, something internal to the arcade, you know, string lighting, again, 3000K, that's that one major bullet point that everything's sort of uniformly colored. But so we think that this is quite charming, and it's an existing installation that we think other tenants should be allowed to pursue.
Well, I have two questions on this. First of all, I would describe the arcade lighting different. The arcade lighting are the hanging pendants. So this is individual tenant string lighting.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, differentiate the two. And is it applied to a certain tenant? Because in the past, we've only done lighting for food, restaurant, evening tenants.
Yeah,
so
I
do
think-
you have that as part of the?
I think that's the intention, is that it's related to food service
Again, out and
tenants.
ambiance.
It's like outdoor seating, right?
Yes.
It would go inside with your outdoor seating situation, so
Okay.
we combine those.
I love that.
And you
I think it's
said
great.
same color temperature, but would there be a standard spec for what that string light is? Because I think
Yes.
that came up in federal where any string light had to be a certain brand. That way it guarantees, even though it says 3000K, it can vary
Yeah,
between
that makes
manufacturers.
sense, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we could establish a standard.
Some sort of
Yeah,
unity
yeah,
throughout the
that way it
whole
keeps
lighting
it
system, yeah.
uniform.
It's a great call.
Okay.
It's like the heat zone.
I know.
Alright, so, I'm trying to zoom back out here.
Freezing in here.
Okay, so signage, just as a recurse, the directory sign, every tenant will have their ability to,
Hey, Christina, are we done with lighting?
we are done with lighting.
Okay, can I add one point to that?
Sure.
Can you guys add, I'll make a note to this, to add it, going back to that picture, specific, are you guys going to do arcade lighting? So those hanging pendants are different, old, I don't know if they even work anymore. It'd be amazing if they did to put in, I think you had suggested that, like doing some sort of like,
Something interesting.
yeah, I don't know, probably not gas, like, gas would be amazing, right? To like have them like create, but are you guys gonna do
Flicker.
something with those, like a flicker or a faux flicker or something, because it does
Yeah,
get.
we're still trying to figure that one out. Those are, it's a little complicated, because Stop and Shop controls two of the ones, and we control the balance, so
Can you remove Stop and Shops then and just create the balance, say that Stop and Shop loses them?
we could, what I would say is maybe we come back with that and the specs for the lighting
Okay.
on the signage.
Like, that'd be amazing, 'cause
That, like,
like,
They
that would
probably,
create some
they
more.
coincide.
Yeah, they do. I think that'd be important. In the picture you showed them all lit up, it makes a difference.
The intention is to keep that language of,
Yeah.
you know, the sort of rhythmic hanging light in that arcade.
One more question about lighting. How is the plug-in control? What's the situation with the power outlet? Where does it happen? Is it like a big cord that comes from the inside, you know, like is it already planned in this? I'm kinda trying to talk to you, but you're behind
No.
me, so I
I would think that there needs to be a receptacle.
Yeah, you
There
gotta,
we
you
go.
got electrical separate, so
So there's plugs and stuff, right?
you probably have to bring it out and tie it into this interior.
Because if you're providing the possibility for the tenants to do something, you wanna provide also the way to plug in and.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, and we can also put that in the criteria, because maybe that's not actually landlord work, but that's something that the tenant has to execute
Right.
should they want to pursue
You don't want
that
a big
seasonal
orange
lighting.
thing climbing up the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
You don't wanna, because, sorry, some
No,
content.
yeah, that'd be crazy.
Gotta be
People-
built
You
out.
guys, you've seen it all, so.
We've seen it all,
You gotta
right?
hide the
You have to
electrical
be-
box,
yeah.
you gotta hide the electrical box.
Right.
Build out.
Make sure that's part of the idea.
Nobody wants to see like an extension cord coming out.
Wrapped around
But
the
you guys
box.
talked about doing this part of your build out, your ongoing renovations, maybe?
As far as the.
The electricity, working
Spending
those
Jack's
lights again.
money
I thought they weren't even
I think
I think the architect should suggest.
For the pendant lights, right?
pendant lights.
The pendant.
The hanging.
Oh, the hanging lights.
pendant
Yeah,
lights,
yeah, yeah, we can come back to your specs, I think
Okay.
we would look to do that at the same time we do the signage.
Yeah.
So again, the lighting above the signage is landlord
Yeah.
responsibility, same with the arcade.
Yeah,
Mhm.
beautiful.
Alright. Okay, so directory sign, not to focus on it too much, but every tenant at the center would have the ability to use the standard placard within the directory sign. The dimensions are uniform. I know when I presented to you last 2 months ago. There was the urgent care center that tried to get something more bold, and so, the language that we have, articulated is just that it needs to be, legible, but it keeps all of that sort of aesthetic control under, ARB approval, because every tenant's gonna have different colorways and logos and typefaces that they're gonna want to deploy here, so it's really about legibility without trying to control actual size. It has to fit and sort of look uniform with the white backer panel.
Right. I've seen in the past where people have had monuments like this, and I know businesses have their own branding, etc., but they've actually kept it consistent, same font, same size, just really classy and clean.
Yeah.
For the monument, because they can do their colorways in front of their actual storefront. Is there a way, do you think the tenants would be receptive to that?
But we've already started down this path though. They have all the.
Right.
We do have an
Just-
approval for this new directory.
It's actually, it's up,
Yeah, it's up,
Is it?
yeah.
it's up.
And we started approving, yeah,
Okay.
I hear you.
So for the tenancies that are congruent with the pedestrian concourse, their wall signage or their primary signage would occur within the portico sign band or these individual panels that, again, we're showing the sort of linear illumination for, because these are non-illuminated signs. The backer panel is something that's generally maintained by landlord and is uniform. It's a PVC panel. Our guidelines are really just specifying that the signage is centered within this panel, sort of offering uniform breadth from all sides, and some standards. Now, every tenant's logo, amount of wording to their corporate name varies, but as a standard, that the typefaces should be no less than 6 inches high, just to again ensure legibility. Where you have tenancies where you have stacked signage or multiple lines, that typically the secondary sign line is smaller, it also should be no less than 2 inches high to ensure legibility. Typeface is at the discretion of landlord and ARB, but it will typically be per the tenant branding. So we're trying to offer flexibility, but guidelines that are gonna yield sort of visual uniformity to the extent possible without forcing everyone to use the same colorways and typefaces.
Christina, can I add 2 things to that? One, you could add in there like different depths of the letters could work, right?
Mhm.
Some people have thicker letters, or some have flat, some have just like painted on letters, some have like applied.
Yeah, so we are asking that they're a non-illuminated CNC or acrylic cut, so not necessarily a 2-inch depth or a pin-mounted letter per se,
Okay.
but something that's almost more superficially applied to that
Okay.
panel,
Okay.
just because they are a non-illuminated type.
Okay.
We can give you, we can add, some dimensions on that.
If you want to, I mean, that gets up to
Yeah.
you, but it could give you us.
No, it's the right move, like, for example, Amelia's, I think it's a 1/4 inch,
Yeah, that might be right. There's
that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's basically pin, it's almost like pin
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah, it's not a thick, it's not like a 2-inch thing, but it's still.
We don't want just a vinyl sticker,
Mm-hmm.
we
Correct.
want some,
Little stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And one other thing to note for your tenants in there, that the name that they illustrate has to be their actual business name.
They're
And
legal,
not
as
the
a
legal
legal
business,
entity.
and not any description. So it's good that you guys lead with that, because they come to us, then when they come to us, it's not a shock to them when we immediately say, nope, you can't do that.
Okay.
License names, easy.
So secondary conditions, type B for the anchor stores, non-portico facing tenants, Stop and Shop being one, and the bank on the other end cap is another example. These tenants already have self-illuminated signs. It distinguishes them sort of, architecturally from the portico. language. Again, as they're already sort of instituted, we sought to solidify their allowance. The same square footage or size constraints is reiterated in all of these guidelines for both of these signs and the ones in the portico as well.
For the lighting, do you have in there halo lit, no face lit allowed?
If not, we should, because that's what they are today.
I can't see that, I can't remember what. I feel like we talked about that, but I didn't see it written in
Is
there.
the .67 from the code?
That is from the code, yes. So I don't seem to stipulate that other than
We can add-
prohibiting neon or
we can add
flashing,
that.
but that'll definitely,
Yeah, we
should
can.
have been in. Okay, so no cabinets, no neon, no flashing, pin mounted, self-illuminated, so halo lit, just add that to the language.
You should put the maximum size of the letter that's in the code as well.
Okay.
I think it's, in this zone, this is a pedestrian zone, isn't it? 20 inches for a character? I
Yeah,
don't have the
thought-
code.
Yeah, then with that, the discretion.
Whatever, yeah, without,
Huh? And if there's any deviation, isn't there
then it's
at the
ARB
discretion
determination.
of, yeah.
So I mean, as a guideline, there are two sizes in the code, 20 and 26 inches, depending on automobile versus pedestrian. I
I'm
believe
imagining
this is a
it.
pedestrian zone, but I'm not 100%, I don't have the map in my head. But whatever the maximum size of a logo or letter is, and then in order to avoid a ZBA hearing, you just can add that if there is a need to make it bigger, it can be at the ARB discretion and
Discretion.
determination.
Is Stop and Shop going to redo their sign? I don't
It
think
just came through here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I
Few
think
years
this
ago.
is their new logo.
Is it a halo lit sign?
This is, yeah.
It is,
Okay, because
I don't
I
know.
was remembering maybe somewhere else it's not.
Yeah, they did come through for the new rebranding.
Okay, great.
No, it's not.
It's like fully.
Okay, so blade signs are predominantly, again, for the portico or pedestrian concourse tenants type A. One of the things that we're recommending, obviously, is sort of like a visual complementary, condition between their wall signage and their blade signage, which Odalise does kind of nicely here. The blade sign itself is, again, standard maintained by the property, and it's hung from a cast iron support arm. It is double facing, it is a wood with sort of a corbelled detail. These tend to be vinyl directly applied to the sign. And again, we're sort of stipulating minimum heights of characters, 2 inches for single line, 1 inch for the secondary line. It's about 4 square feet total between both sides. And again, there's some diagrammatic recommendations of leaving sort of a uniform breadth of background space around the sign. Non-illuminated, so all of the sort of pendant lights within the concourse would offer that illumination, as well as if the tenants had sort of string lights available to them as well.
Do you have in there, are they gonna use the same bracket across halls, or one center bracket they use?
Yep, so it's a standard bracket and it's actually a standard placard.
Okay.
So that's not.
Standard bracket and standard, okay.
Yep. There is a variation. Some of the tenants have painted the placard, some of them have been maintained white, so there is sort of a welcome variation in that, but all of the support arms are black, standard, all the way across the center.
The shape is the same.
The shape is the same, correct?
And their height on the wall is always the same too, right?
Correct, and it's generally centered within the architectural pier adjacent to tenant entry.
One per business.
One per business, that's correct.
We fixed that.
You fix that.
Oh, yeah. Hunan loves their blade signs.
It would take everybody's blade signs.
I know. They're collecting them.
There's a nice big cross on the sandwich board.
Yeah, so sandwich boards, we know, are somewhat of a hot topic, but we do think that there is a home for them in this center within the pedestrian way. So the language that we have in here in terms of location prohibition is that it has to be located within that pedestrian way and not visible from the vehicular, areas. So that generally means, on the interior of one of the piers, it's not intended to fall within the parking area or out beyond the concourse there. So
The problem with that will be enforcement, because everybody's gonna wanna put it on the curb in front of the columns, because that's where people drive and see where the businesses are, and that typically would be what is not allowed everywhere.
Mhm.
And if we allow, the precedent setting will be the issue also. If we allow it there, which makes sense, because this is a very special condition. But if we allow it there, then the people somewhere else in town are gonna say, hey, I go to Old Kings Market, they have sandwich starts, they have sandwich board everywhere. So I don't know how we're gonna be as a town able to kind of
How to regulate that?
regulate that.
yeah, I mean, so we're specifically saying it needs to be inboard, but I understand it is hard to police.
Yeah, it is.
So what do you guys think about this? This is a discussion we had with them about giving a special situation, allowing just this center in town to have sandwich boards, because they're a unique center, they're not on a main road. That's the discussion here. But I hear your concern, like that becomes an enforcement nightmare
I
for you.
mean, I think if they're inside the column, it's pretty cool, because you walk
Yeah.
down and you see where you're going, because those blade signs are fairly small, so they're not
Yeah.
like, if you're 5 stores away, you can't really read, but the sandwich board may be able to get you when you approach. But I have been there, and Coromandel and others have
They're
had
always
their
out.
signs right on the curb practically, and it's just difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah, members, what do you guys think about that?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm open to, do you guys have a way that you communicate with tenants? I mean, like, I mean,
There all the time. I mean,
you're there all the time. I mean, I think I'd be willing to try it, but I don't, I mean, if it becomes a problem, then,
as a conditional approval. or
okay,
something.
yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know, what do you guys think?
I mean, from your guys' perspective, who warrants one of those issues?
That's a good question.
It's generally food, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I hesitate to say outdoor seating, like, I think that, like, the cheese shop, for example, would be a great candidate for it, and you probably won't do outdoor seating, so like, it's a
Like
tough-
Gut Reaction does them all the time too,
I know,
right? They're always like
yeah.
sale,
I know.
those get cheesy, those are the problem. Like, if we
Agreed,
put a
and
condition
that
on it,
was, I thought Christina and her
Well,
firm
there's
did a
very
good
little
job
have
to
to
try to
be pretty-
The
differentiate.
content
work
can
well
vary
in terms of,
Yeah.
wildly on those.
Yeah.
class
I
looking
know.
versus
It's
some
not-
of the others that are
like they get
less.
tacky.
So it's like if it was a frame like this,
Yeah.
and it was, if it was something that's related to the bracket, like those 2 examples on the left, they have a style that kind of works with the overall, they become, and maybe, I don't know how the landlord can regulate that, but where they get placed is somewhat predefined. So
Yeah, but
there's
if they
like
have
there's a
outdoor seating.
location, even if, I wonder if they even are permanently bolted, and then you can interchange the panel that's inside. So like if the sandwich board is in a location that we know is correct, and if they wanna remove it at night because they're afraid it's gonna be stolen, not that it would be, but anyway, you have a panel that you hook, like the Cube Boutique is perfect.
Yeah.
You get a couple of hooks, you put your sandwich board when you're open, remove it when you're not, and then that frame is a metal frame, almost like the brackets. And then people in town can't say, hey, that's a sandwich board that they bring every time.
But don't they take
It's
them in and
there.
out? Don't they get stolen if they're left outside?
If
Not the metal piece, if it's fixed.
the
Oh,
metal
if
is,
the metal
if
piece
metal
is
is
fixed.
bolted to the ground
I see.
in a very good location.
And then when you take out the centerpiece,
You take out the centerpiece.
That's
my
when you don't need
8-year-old's gonna run right through it.
it. You what?
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
My 8-year-old's gonna run right through it, he's not gonna see it.
Well,
That's
that's,
How's your
yeah.
insurance? Yeah.
Yeah, that provides some thinking. but-
Dave, are you thinking like if it was a certain tenant was allowed them or something like that? Because,
Well, I don't know how you guys would justify it, because again, if it's,
yeah.
you could say it's food, but then Gut Reaction would say, well, I don't advertise my sale.
Right, with balloons and,
I mean, you can almost make the opposite argument that if you have outdoor seating, like that provides you a presence within the arcade.
yeah.
Don't need
You really need that.
sandwich
and
board
then
anymore.
Right, right.
The guys who don't have that,
UPS put one out the other day. God, it was ugly. It was
I
just
know.
like,
I've
What did they
actually-
have to
I've asked
say?
them twice already. to
Pack
put
it
it in.
It was so bad. Yeah.
They put it out.
Line forms yet?
like, we all know you're there because there's 50 cars parked with people running their boxes in. I don't think we need anymore.
show up and they start hiding this.
I don't know. I don't know. One idea too, instead of sandwich board signs, is you could make an exception per tenant. You know, the wall bolted menu signs, kind of, like it's a box on the wall for certain things, so then if they have a special promotion, it's a certain size, like it's a poster size, and they could change it out, you know, weekly, monthly, daily, based on what they're doing, like it could be a menu, could be a promotion, could be, you know what I mean? That could be an alternative solution instead of this, which seems like it can get out of control and get
I think it's-
chaotic quickly.
It's an enforcement.
What do you think about something like
I
that,
can also,
Kristen?
that could get sloppy.
So I think we'd have to
This
study
one too?
the
Okay.
facade because it is heavily fenestrated and the non-fenestrated areas are really just
Tiny.
these,
Yeah.
piers.
Columns, yeah.
That I think are at most 12 inches and they have ornate trimmings around them, so I don't know that there's a lot of real estate for
Okay.
that. But we could study the facade for opportunities.
Okay.
I think it does the same problem, like it could get cluttered, it could,
Yeah.
like, it's,
I think I get the sense the board's leaning towards a no on these, even though these look really cool what you found here, and on paper, they're awesome. I think the reality of what they start to look like is quite the cacophony.
It's fair.
I mean, so, I mean, on Google Maps, they have I was just gonna say, if you have a
Picture.
photo of like looking into the arcade, but I mean, even on Google Maps, if you look at,
Everyone already has this.
Sandwich sign,
they're out there.
yeah.
On the
people,
picture.
they have sandwich signs.
But,
Yeah,
I mean, Herbert, to your point, could you almost provide a bracket on that column?
Right.
Oh.
I mean, there's
That's your spot.
sketches.
Oh.
It's almost like
Anything you
another
can
blade
think
sign,
about
like
that
a-
you
like
could-
It's a low blade sign, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more, is it placement oriented that is most your concern? Or clutter?
clutter.
It's the clutter, but it's also there's no uniformity. Some are plastic, some could be.
Yeah, we
metal.
definitely want uniformity, that's one of the,
You have nice uniformity on the
Yeah.
on the blade signs and now the lighting, so you're like, your whole center.
Right.
I like the.
If there was a way to execute the second sign in on the top row, something like that, like
That one.
Herbert was saying, uniformity, and keeping it consistent throughout where they can take their own sandwich, hang it every night, but just what's the location, right? And how do we keep it, like you said, from your 8-year-old from running through it when the sandwich sign's out there?
Right.
So maybe something that,
It's always
the blade sign.
tricky with 8-year-olds.
it sounds like you guys are, like, it's interesting, but we just need to
Fine tune.
fine tune,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or figure out the good solution.
I mean,
Well,
just
they
taking
are
a-
not allowed in town, so that's the problem, so
Yeah.
that's just.
Taking a step totally back, like, what is the hardship to the tenant? Like, I mean, I kind of know what the answer is, but from your perspective.
They're
when-
deep inside.
when they
Yeah,
say-
I think this center as opposed to kind of the Main Street and stuff, right, like it is really
It's
set
because
back.
of the
you know?
setback, they want
Yeah,
more of a visual presence.
and I think if it's done right, to your point, it probably could work out well, but then if everybody takes advantage of it, it could get cluttery.
But that goes, your original pitch was it's not visible by vehicular traffic, and I think that's the whole point of what these, you guys, they want vehicular
Yeah,
traffic
that's
to
why
see.
they're putting them.
So there's like-
where they-
so-
Yeah.
There's a
That-
conflict between intent.
Yeah, so
and-
that's not, yeah.
I think when you
So
get
that-
out of your car, right, there's a space between the column and the sidewalk, and once you're on that, you can kind of see through the column. If you're driving by, you're not gonna,
Well, the other idea is instead of like adding this, like what if there's another option to do some sort of landscaping, boxes or treatment, another way for stores to differentiate themselves and make them more interesting to vehicular traffic without it being signage of this type. Like, I think Odalise has done a good example of that, right? They put large planters with trees, right? So you don't need these sandwich boards because they've drawn enough attention alone. I wonder if
Yeah.
that, maybe we could encourage them to do like an alternative.
I think a lot of retailers or even restaurateurs are using sandwich boards to advertise particular sales or even menu items for that particular day. So it's sort of
Got it. Yes.
specific to the
information.
information that they're trying to convey on that particular day. Sale, things like that. But they certainly can sort of, identify themselves through way of site accessories.
So I guess we could keep looking into it, but I feel like we have to get a solution of where this doesn't become a a regulatory, ongoing regulatory,
Let us go back,
Monitoring.
let us think through it a little bit, I hear the concerns.
Right,
Let us-
alright.
Yeah.
okay, to be continued.
To be continued. Alright, so again, secondary signage, just at tenant storefront doors, their name and maybe hours of operation as a applied vinyl on the door, very limited in terms of sort of allowable area, 1 square foot for signage or logo, 1 square foot for hours of operation or other sort of information. And then standard at every header, pin mounted, unit number, black.
Go to the mail.
That's so much.
Correct, it's actually a code
Is it really?
requirement
Yeah.
to have your address mounted. So just that there's uniformity there. We are calling it secondary signage because it is in fact in addition to their wall sign and blade sign. There's
So-
also language in here that talks about tenancies that may have a back entrance, so completely utilitarian facing, and they might do a vinyl applied letter as well for delivery purposes.
Okay. So you're telling the restriction of 1 square foot, you're keeping that to 1 square foot, because a lot of your tenants might want window clings, right?
So this is just for secondary signage, so that's separate and
different.
apart from advertising or
Okay.
window clings and the 10%
Okay.
sort of limitations. There is an additional freestanding sign present on site currently. This is it right here. I can maybe
That's
go.
for the tenants on the end.
That's for the tenants on the end. I'll just, if I can get there, go back to the
Rather diagram.
the site plan, just to show where it exists.
B to the side.
It's very small. One more.
There's.
Okay, so the tenancies that are on this leg of the building here have no frontage and are kind of obscured from the parking area primary. So the freestanding sign that I was just showing actually lives kind of right here in the grass aisle. And it's literally just directional in that it's pointing to those two particular tenants that they're there.
So, or including in this package, one freestanding sign, and this is it.
This is all that's present on site, and it's one of those things that it's at your discretion. It's, you know, to be presented if it needs to be changed or they feel that they need another one for some reason.
So there's a vacant space right now, so it'd go underneath that, right? So there's 3
Right.
tenants that are back there.
Right.
So
Okay.
right now, those 2 tenants are there, and then the third would go underneath
Okay.
the dance of the DL. Similar style. of format.
Specifically, 28A, 28, and 27B.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
What's 25 through 27, that's, oh, the salon, okay.
Yeah.
So if that space ever got carved up,
Potentially.
potentially,
Yeah.
then we might have
You could
4
have
or
another.
5.
Could.
Yeah.
But I think the corner tenant would always have presence to the main parking field
Correct.
and that portico band,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so. Okay,
Before you're leaving signage,
yes.
didn't address parking lot signage.
So the intent would be to eliminate, obviously, not vehicular signage that's necessary for circulation, safety purposes, but all other signage, we're not pursuing.
Okay, because you guys have
Parking
stuff
lot
there right
signage.
now. I know there's one that you're passionate, there's the suicide hotline, the blue stuff, those
Oh,
blue
yeah.
signs everywhere.
You guys have it at your front gate here.
Wait, what?
You guys have it as you enter here too.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So do you have, I mean, yeah, again, like I said before, not against the cause, just the overall sign. So you're eliminating that or okay. What about all the stop and shop? There's all the,
Yeah, we gotta get rid of all
Wrapped
that.
on the.
you're doing the stop and shop, those things, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna mark that for that's great, okay. As I said, if you guys wanna make a proposal for that, like Trader Joe's has put it up right now too, we have to speak with them about it, but like if you guys wanna make a proposal for it, it's different, you should just propose it on record saying that this is a part of our mission.
Mhm.
Okay, so for now, all parking lot signage is being cleared up, and any like sort of monthly things that Stop and Shop likes to run,
We'll try to monitor them as best we can.
okay.
They tend to
Yeah.
do things in the middle of the night, but
Yeah, I know.
for the intent of this, would not
Okay.
be allowed.
Did you cover the vinyl decals and things inside the storefront?
Yeah, it should be per code, right?
I mean, generally, we try to not
Yeah.
duplicate the code in its entirety, but we can add a section if the board thinks it's warranted to cover
I think
that.
if you just had, for the part that's like, we call it window etching, which I
Yeah.
think is not a very good word because it feels like it's etching. But for decals, to tell people if it's permanent, it's 10% of your glass opening, so
Yeah.
period. Because everybody's like, oh, 25%, oh, 50%, no. It's 10% if it's permanent, and it's only during a grand opening
Window
you can have a
etching.
banner. So they maybe refer
Which
to
is
the code
great.
Yeah.
for some of the
10%.
things.
I think
I
we
think
cleaned that up
people-
there, right?
People are interested in grand openings too.
Yeah.
They want to put a banner, the banner is only there for a week,
Yeah,
not 30 days.
that's worth noting in that
Right,
package.
there are a couple
Yeah.
of things that if you want, I can shoot you a.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
An overall, like almost the FAQ.
Mhm. I mean, at every header,
What can I do? No.
you know,
Yes, that'd be
we've
great.
cited that everything needs to be per these guidelines and also the town regulations.
Right.
Again, to not completely duplicate the code in its entirety.
We're trying
That'd
to
be-
direct, we're trying to direct within kind of the gray area, right? The-
Yeah, plus we can make it very simple. When you want a grand opening, this is what you can do. When you want something stuck on the window, this is what you can do.
I like that Herb laid out, but to specifically add into the package.
Right.
Window etching, allowed 10%,
Yep.
ARB approval. Temporary signage, allowed 1 week,
Right.
ARB approval. Actually, those don't get ARB approval,
So-
those don't need ARB
so-
approval.
On the record, Jeremy and I are looking at it, some of the temporary windows signage, which is in the code defined as requiring a permit,
Yeah.
really is going to have to be moved to signs that don't require a permit, because they're temporary.
Yes, right,
So when you're
right.
doing a grand opening and a banner,
Yeah.
you really, why would you go for a
Yeah,
building
no,
permit?
yeah,
for
you
that?
don't need to.
I mean, it's just money and time that's
Yeah, yeah.
wasted on taxpayers' money. So
Yep.
just make it, it can happen without a permit, but here are the constraints and very specific.
Okay.
That's actually good as well.
Somehow they put it
And
in.
also,
No, they don't really temporary signs.
All right. Outdoor dining. So outdoor dining is allowed for food service related tenants. Just as a general guideline, these layouts can be reconfigured in any number of ways, but the intent is to maintain a minimum accessible path of 48 inches. You may notice that we're, stipulating the width at the front door to vary. I mean, that's gonna vary based on egress requirements and again, accessible approaches. But generally speaking, the intent is that there is a clear and uniform path and that the dining, is concurrent with the tenant area. So it's in front of their space, it doesn't start leaching into other tenant spaces, or in front of other tenant spaces rather.
That's great,
Um,
absolutely great.
We are gesturing at
Really?
some planters or furnishings as way of defining the space or providing partition. And again, nothing outboard of the curb, it's all within the pedestrian
Mhm.
way.
Actually, one thing on your diagram, this is a little tricky. I think the relationship between the column and the edge of the curb is bigger. So right now, if I'm a tenant and I'm looking at this, I'm going, can I put my tables right against the curb? Because I see the curb on the edge. I don't think the curb is that close. I think there is actually a full sidewalk in front of those
There is.
columns.
There
So you have,
is,
if you're defining maybe the overhead of where the panels are between the arcade, that's your edge for your tenant, you still have a public sidewalk.
Correct.
So the public sidewalk, you still have to maintain the 4 foot inside your tenant.
yes,
But you also have to maintain the sidewalk completely, I think.
you would, okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's,
I
well,
know,
the sidewalk is public, it's not, right?
It's not part of
No,
the
no.
tenant space.
Yeah,
No,
it's outside the,
yeah,
right.
so,
Right.
it needs not be blocked,
It's not, it can't be blocked.
yeah,
That's one of the reasons
How big is
the
it?
trees were removed.
yeah.
And then I think at
is
scale
it
it
4
helped.
feet? Is it enough for the?
It's,
I don't know it to be
ADA?
4
Well,
feet,
that's-
I'll triple check.
but you can't,
Okay.
But that would
I
be
think
nice to have.
ADA, with ADA, you can't, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, I mean, you might know. I think that ADA, you have, within the tenants, especially if it's a restaurant, you have to have an ADA passage that does not
Within,
utilize the public
public
sidewalk
space.
as the only way to get through.
oh,
Because you'd be like going in and out.
And you also don't wanna
have to double
force
check that.
people adjacent to the vehicular circulation when it's
We want
not
them
necessary.
in the arcade anyway, so
Yes.
the outside, you know, just think it's pouring rain, like, okay, you got, you know, a person in a wheelchair and suddenly you have to get out, no.
Okay, so we can
Okay.
adjust the diagram so
Yeah,
that
just
it
to make
doesn't-
sure that the curb is understood when they look at it, they don't take it literally, say, I can put my tables all the way up to the curb, because they won't necessarily see the columns and the relationship. At least maybe there's a dimension in a note that says sidewalk to be kept clear
Sure.
for the restaurant.
Christina, can you also note in there that the furniture is, needs ARB review?
Yep, so that's on the next page.
Okay.
So what, it's somewhat open-ended how to define high quality, but that's why they'll have to come before you. So, you know, we're basically saying, you know, planters and cafe partitions to have a cohesive aesthetic with the furnishings, a high quality wood, stone, metal, or polypropylene, which is really just plastic, but a nice plastic. No additional logos or signage on these furnishings or accessories. Table umbrellas can be permitted, and this is where we talk about the ornamental string lights or even lamp heaters, subject to approval.
Okay.
Because we see those as sort of accessory to outdoor dining.
We'll add a spec to that, to the string lights.
Right.
Yeah, the lumens. And, what about, I don't see it specifically says dividers, I see dividers in that bottom right corner.
Yeah.
Are you guys would like to allow them for people to define their space?
So I think some of the restaurateurs are already utilizing sort of a version of the freestanding. What we talk about is encouraging sort of a mixture of planters and partitions,
Okay.
something to sort of soften it, which is really the intent of showing some of the other imagery. But I think to allow a high quality partition as a partition is also.
Emilio
But I
did
think
a
it
great
was
job,
a,
right?
it was a uniform look, right? That you guys, we didn't want the signage on the exterior, so
Right.
that was the note there.
Correct.
Emilio's did a great job with that
Yes,
that
they did.
wrought iron, and it has a very discreet little logo
Right,
in
it's
it.
just sort of a decorative
Yeah.
screen.
It's a
So
good
do you-
example to put in your thing.
It would be worth, I would appreciate you putting this, like, the partitions, dividers, whatever you call them, are, you know, allowed, however, but like, no, again, reiterate no signage
That's what,
on
I
those,
think we have it in
that
there.
specific element. I know you have it in there, but on that specific element,
Meaning to add
yeah.
add the language on
Yeah,
here.
the language, yeah, that cannot be, yeah, I think it's important because everyone pitches them, and by the way, on that, I don't know if Jennifer cleaned it up, but Coromandel's gotta change theirs out, like we've been on the,
Oh. I thought we flipped theirs, I thought it's all orange now,
is it?
yeah.
I haven't been in a little bit, okay,
I don't think they're up right now because of winter, but
yeah. Oh,
it's supposed to be all
you're
orange.
Okay. They need to be refreshed anyways, those things were beaten up, they were so
Again, we're kind of
Don't-
resetting the deck here.
cool.
I have a question on the umbrellas.
Mhm.
I mean, they're really for sun protection, but you're already underneath this portico. I saw in the eau de lis that
It goes.
they kind of extend
Mhm.
outward,
Right.
but then that gets into the argument about that
Yeah.
being a sidewalk space.
Right.
I don't know, is that something, I mean, I don't think you'd wanna have the umbrellas in the portico though, I mean.
It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, it's a good
I mean,
point.
I don't know.
Maybe unlucky.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting a ban on umbrellas, but I mean,
It would be,
Is there any
I think it's gonna
really
be at your
practical-
discretion if they did
Yeah.
it, if they had something.
Okay,
It's more the eau de lis space is probably the only one that has.
Yeah,
I
and
think it is,
they
yeah.
also, being the end cap, have
It does extend
plaza
out.
utilization there as well. I mean, you can kind of see the edge of an umbrella right here, which is not actually under the portico,
Right.
but it kind of
Yeah,
is on
there
the
it
other
makes
side of their
sense, but,
frontage.
yeah.
So if there's no other spot, is it worth even keeping it in your deck then? If there's no other.
I think people use,
Worth
I think people
mentioning.
wanted to do some umbrellas on the seats that are on the ends.
At the end, you
At
get
the
the
end,
sun.
so you can actually
You
kind
get
of,
the sun.
yeah,
Oh.
you can shade it and
Okay.
it's visually, you can
Okay.
It's not
brand it
bad.
a little bit.
Yeah, it could be-
Okay.
Perhaps we
could
can
soften
put
the
that in the
arcade.
language, right? So umbrellas
And-
allowed only at the perimeter,
Perimeter table?
the one straddling the public sidewalk area.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
the common sense umbrellas.
Because I think it would be distracting, it's just saw bills under the portico.
Yeah, that's a good call. Take away from the new ambient arcade pendant lightings that are gonna be there. They're gonna be gaslit.
There's some,
Wouldn't that be amazing?
there's some bulbs that.
You're right, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
some
What am I saying?
LED fades.
Burning fossil
You're
fuels,
right, sorry. Faux gaslit.
flickering.
Yeah, flickering.
Okay, so that is all of the categories that we have currently covered in our package.
Amazing. There's one thing we missed, I wanted to ask about, which is the parking lot lighting. Are you guys gonna make any updates to that? It's
I gotta
pretty
get,
raw.
well, as
What
far as
were
the
some
heads
of the
go, or the LED lights?
The
'Cause they
LED,
are
the
LED.
light, the heads actually are traditionally, but yeah, the way that, the actual like lumens and casting of lighting is dated. I don't know if you ever thought about doing it. Is it for security? Is it for look? Like what's the
No,
goal there?
the current lights that are out there, I think are all replaced to be LEDs, and I think that the lumens are
They're gonna-
per code.
Okay, I haven't actually been, I remember.
It's
months
super
ago-
dark out there, and that's why the hope was with these lights. Look, if you go out there at night, it's really hard to see anything.
Okay.
It's really dark, but
Is it, okay.
my understanding is that the site lighting, and we can double check with our group, but I thought that was per code.
Can you confirm in your package, like what you're doing there, what those lumens
We
are?
didn't have anything for the site lighting, because we thought that was kind of what we were stuck with, to be honest with you.
No,
Unless we
you
changed out all the heads, which.
Yeah, I mean, we're open to that, I just would confirm what that is, I feel like I went there, it's been a long time, it was pretty, I don't know, it felt,
You can't see any of the signs, like you drive the goosenecks, don't even.
yeah, I meant these, like, in the parking lots, in
Yeah.
between, in the medians, the pole lights. I don't remember seeing those look nicer than what I.
I don't even remember that.
Kind of nondescript, I
Yeah.
don't really
They
pay much
disappear.
attention
Yeah.
to them.
Okay,
I've never noticed I shop there.
they're on top of these big cement, round cement.
Yeah, if anything, but I guess that's more for protection.
Yeah, yeah,
Somehow it'll load, but it's there.
okay, but can you
Mhm.
confirm what those are, the lumens and,
Sure. I have a left field suggestion or question or idea. When you presented the lighting of this arcade, I'm wondering, and that's a big question for Jack as well, is if this center at Christmas time could become a hub of a Christmas fair
oh, fun.
with all of the arcade with light, and you could even maybe dedicate the driving aisle or a part of it for vendors that would be facing the arcade, would be on the outside, facing into the arcade, so you get, that's the section. You get the tent on the outside, under the arcade, and then you get the product, and then you walk into this arcade and there are vendors on one side, or a temporary tent, and then the stores on the right, and it's all light. Now, that could be something to negotiate with Planning and Zoning Commission, but, you set it up for a couple of weeks or something, and it's starting to be worth it.
So it's like seasonal
A
decorations.
seasonal decoration that brings kind of heavy
Well, there's
duty
something
light.
with farmer's market there too, you
We
could
do farm
technically,
market every year.
I know, but you could technically do like,
But if it,
make an
I
argument to
think,
put up
I
lighting
think that if we were
or,
all trying to enhance the activity of
Yeah.
the center, which I think it wants, and it's a great spot. It's almost like a shame that it got this darkness but it really has so much potential. So
We agree.
maybe as I don't know, I'm seeing a Christmas fair with these tents and vendors and lights and stuff. That would be pretty cool, and that could be a temporary thing, part of your business site plan, or when you talk to the powers that be. But anyway,
well, to that
That's where
point,
the
like,
lighting-
if you guys had like a summer long, like something
Of
to
course, yeah.
that maintain that was
Events.
up, that showed where the farmer's market is, I think that would actually be really cool, and people would like, and something in the air, something aerial, or, but like, cause the farmer's market's there and then it's gone, you just a normal parking lot, but it would give it some, sort of an event space in there. I don't know, there's potential there, but I love that idea, right? So we'd be open to ideas, so we don't just say no to stuff.
No.
You're like,
No, you guys would be great. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we wanna just, we wanna start bringing this up to the LA as showcase market, so.
That was a great package, Christina, thank you so much.
Thank
Really-
you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
fantastic, so I have a bunch of notes, I will share them with you, I'll put them
Great.
up in Viewpoint, just make sure we're on the same page.
That'd be great.
And I guess moving forward, the next step would be presenting one final time maybe, just to go over these things that are like,
Yeah, we can do it.
Sure.
whatever.
Sounds great, thank you.
Okay, this is great, you guys did such a fantastic job, this is
Yeah, really.
really exciting.
This is very good.
It's the best this place has looked in, what, 15 years? I mean, as long as I've been, I don't
We'll
know,
get it.
30?
We'll get it.
Okay, awesome. All right, so that is the end of our applications for this evening. All we have left to discuss are approval of notes. I have not seen notes though for December or January. Did
They
you
were
send
not
them?
linked?
I sent,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like-
Dave, did you send your December ones? You're on the spot.
I have them down now.
Okay, so we, all in favor of January, so, everybody, do you want me to approve them both or wait?
I don't think I print them.
You didn't print them? Okay, I can
Bring
sign
them
them.
down. But I can bring them to your house and have you sign them.
Okay, that's right, I did
Or
see the
have,
yeah.
Greer do that.
So, but I don't think that the group has reviewed the January notes though.
No,
Yeah, okay, so we need to send those out and we'll approve those,
okay.
at the next meeting. Once the
And
board
the
has changed.
December one were made from staff because.
Dave said he just
Mr.
finished them.
Humphrey, you, what? What? Mr. Humphrey, you finished the minutes of December? Yeah. Well, you should compare with what we wrote to make sure that Greer and I did a little, I mean,
I'll send it to Greer.
yeah.
Okay, all right, so it is 7:45, we are going to adjourn this meeting.
Okay.
Fantastic, thanks guys. Hey, now, are we, 79, are we off record?
Yep.
Okay, good. Just a little update for you guys. Jamie Stevenson was approved last night to join the board, so she'll be here
Yes.
in March.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So we have finally back to 10 members. She what? Oh, she did? All right. Nice job. That was a big one to get that done tonight. That
Yeah,
package.
that was good.
Need to get knocked off because I feel like March is growing bigger and bigger. Do you guys also all know that our March meeting is on Monday, the 23rd of March? I wrote that, I know there's been a bunch of messages, and I just wanted to like note it to you guys now, put in your calendar.
And the reason is my fault because I'm not around that entire week and Jeremy is covering for me. He cannot do it on a Tuesday because he's got a planning and zoning meeting.
So Jeremy will be here, he's set for that?
Yep.
Okay,
The 23rd.
okay. All right, awesome.
So you'll have a nice agenda that week, 23rd ARB, 24th ZBA, 24th planning and zoning, and 25th ZBA. He's happy
He's
already.
busy.
Oh, Lord. Yeah,
That's bad.
that is bad, all right. Okay,
All right.
let's get out of here before the next rain and snow comes in.
That's good.
You know, it's going, you know what that
We might get some snow in the morning.
I
1 to
heard.
3.